Hi everybody! Today we are going to need our Bibles first and foremost. We are going to learn about some men who were walking with Jesus and didn't recognize him. They didn't know who he was. They couldn't remember. And Jesus had to show them who he was. But before we read our Bible story, let's talk about who we are. Take some time and think about 3 words that describe who you are. Okay, did you get them? My 3 words I wrote down are kind, quiet, and sometimes a little bit silly. So now that we know what we are like, we're going to read a story about Jesus showing these men what he's like. Let's see what's in this Bible story. Jesus can talk to us through the Bible, and he's ready to talk to you right now. So we are going to read kind of a long story in the Bible, so get ready. We're going to read Luke chapter 24, and we're going to read the story of the road to Emmaus. So it's verses 13 to 35. That's a long one, but I think you guys can do it. It says, "Now that same day 2 of them were going to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem." Can you imagine walking 7 miles? Just a long ways. They were talking with each other about everything that had happened. As they talked and discussed these things with each other, Jesus himself came up and walked along with them. But they were kept from recognizing them. So they had no idea who this random guy was. They didn't recognize that it was Jesus. And Jesus asked them, "What are you discussing together as you walk along?" They stood still, their faces downcast. One of them, named Cleopas, asked him, "Are you only a visitor to Jerusalem and do not know the things that have happened there in these days?" "What things?" he asked. "About Jesus of Nazareth," they replied. "He was a prophet, powerful in word and deed before God and all the people. The chief priests and our rulers handed him over to be sentenced to death, and they crucified him. But we had hoped that he was the one who was going to redeem Israel. And what is more, it is the 3rd day since all this took place. In addition, some of our women amazed us. They went to the tomb early this morning, but didn't find his body. They came and told us what they had seen, a vision of angels who said he was alive. Then some of our companions went to the tomb and found it just as the women had said, but him they did not see. He said to them, 'How foolish you are, and how slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Did not the Christ have to suffer these things and then enter his glory?' And beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he explained to them what was said in all the scriptures concerning himself. As they approached the village to which they were going, Jesus acted as if he was going further. But they urged him strongly, 'Stay with us, for it is nearly evening. The day is almost over.' So he went in to stay with them. When he was at the table with them, he took bread, gave thanks, broke it, and began to give it to them. Then their eyes were opened and they recognized him, and he disappeared from their sight. They asked each other, 'Were not our hearts burning within us while he talked with us on the road and opened the scriptures to us?' They got up and returned to Jerusalem at once. There they found the 11 and those with them assembled together and saying, "It is true, the Lord has risen and has appeared to Simon." Then the two told what had happened on the way and how Jesus was recognized by them when he broke the bread. In our Bible story, two of Jesus' followers were walking along a road talking about the big news that had just happened. Jesus died on the cross. That was really big news for everybody around. They weren't just talking about what happened in their own personal lives. They were talking about big news that everybody around the world knew about. What's something today that you would expect everyone to know about? Take a minute and think about that. Maybe who's the president of the United States? That was big news for a while, right? So as the travelers were walking and talking, someone joined them. Do you remember who that was? The two travelers were surprised that Jesus hadn't heard the news. They told Jesus all about what had happened to him, not realizing it was Jesus himself. They knew what had happened, but they were confused about the facts. They'd heard that Jesus died and was buried, and that some women had found Jesus' tomb empty. He wasn't there anymore. But was it true? They'd also heard that the women who had seen angels told them that Jesus is alive. They were surprised. Have you ever heard something that was confusing to you? Do you remember a story that was hard to believe? I've heard stories about mothers picking up cars and lifting them off of their children. That sounds pretty crazy to me to believe. But that happened. The travelers knew the facts about what had happened to Jesus, but the facts were a little confusing. Jesus helped them to see who he is by telling them that prophets had written about him in Scripture long before on earth. Now we get to play a guessing game. So I'm going to show you with one round, maybe two, how we do it. And then you guys can pause the video and go play yourselves. All you need is a blanket and a couple of different things from around your house. So I just grabbed this little light blanket that I have. And I'm going to get something and put it under here. And you have to guess what it is. Let's see. Do some of these little. So you're going to tie it real tight. What does that look like to you guys? Do you guess? It's a pen or a highlighter. Let's see what my next one will be. What do you think that is? It is a cup! So you guys go ahead and take some time to play this. Take some turns going around, and then we can talk about it in a little bit. Did you guys have fun with that one? So sometimes it's really easy to guess what things are, and sometimes it's not. If you hold your blanket really loosely around something, it's kind of harder to tell, right? It's that same cup, but it just looks a little bit different. So that's kind of like the men who were walking with Jesus. When the people were traveling to Emmaus that saw Jesus, they didn't recognize him at first. They thought that he was just a regular guy. Why do you think they may not have recognized him? I think maybe they didn't recognize him because they didn't think that it was possible. Sometimes we only see what we want to see. Sometimes two people might look at the same exact thing and see two different things. We're going to watch a video now about a girl and her school project. And think about what you see in every picture.
This is Kara, and my science project is all about how people can see something and take it totally different ways. I'm doing a test in my mom's office building. Excuse me, could you help me with my science project?
Science project?
Yeah, it's for school. It'll only take a couple of minutes, and it helps me get a good grade.
Well, if it's only a couple of minutes, I gotta get inside.
What's up? We've got that meeting upstairs in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just helping with a science project, some kind of school thing.
You can help too. It'll only take a couple of minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes. What do you got?
On the table are 3 pictures. Now all you need to do is turn them over one at a time and tell me what you see in the picture.
Sounds easy enough.
Flip over the first one, show it to the camera, and tell us what you see in the picture.
It's really kind of beautiful. I saw a bird in flight, a robin, no, maybe a dove. It's peaceful.
Well, it's either a vulture tearing apart a pigeon or it's a pizza. Could go either way.
Something wrong with you?
That's one. Now on to the middle picture.
Well, I see,
No, I know what this is. This is a giant troll who is smushing these tiny little elves, and they're all running for their lives. And they're saying, help us, save us. But they're all gonna get smushed. Either that or a pizza.
I was going to say it's a field of sunflowers, where the flowers are turning towards the sun.
No, I'm pretty sure it's smushed elves. Or that pizza thing I mentioned. Okay, how about that third picture?
Okay, turn it over.
Oh, that's Jesus.
You really think so? I don't see it.
How do you not see that? The hair, the eyes, that is Jesus.
Honestly, it looks like a pepperoni pizza. Extra cheese.
Are you kidding? Is this some kind of joke? Because that is Jesus.
I guess you see what you see. Oh, look, I gotta go. I got that meeting. Hey, good luck with that science project, kid.
Really? He's right here. Jesus is right here.
Don't be late. Meeting starts in 5.
I guess some people can't see what's right in front of their nose.
Excuse me, will you guys help me with a school project? It'll only take a couple of minutes.
Sure.
What do you got going on?
What do you think each picture looked like? I thought they looked like different things even than the man and the woman. And it's funny that the man thought every single picture looked like pizza. Can you believe it? Why do you think it looked like pizza to him? Maybe he was really, really hungry. Maybe that's all he could think about, and he was imagining this pizza that he was going to have for lunch after his appointment. Can you tell your family about a time that you were confused by looking at something? It just didn't quite make any sense to you. I know for me, I am a little bit confused by baby ultrasounds. So the little pictures you get that are in black and white of babies when they're in their mommy's tummies, I don't know how people know that they're little hands or noses or whatever they are. That's really confusing to me. But the person who is trained on how to read those images knows exactly what they are. So it's two people looking at the same exact thing. Now the third picture in that video that we watched looked a lot like Jesus, don't you think? The woman was convinced that it was Jesus. She kept shouting to that man, "It's Jesus, it's Jesus, Jesus is here." And he said, "No, it looks like pepperoni pizza." How do people miss out on seeing Jesus today? In the Bible, Jesus was right in front of those travelers. He was walking with them, he was talking with them, and they still didn't recognize him. Today, Jesus is at work in our lives all the time. He might not be a person right in front of us that we can see, but there are so many ways that Jesus is working in our lives. And a lot of times we don't recognize him at first. But Jesus shows us who he is when we pay attention to him in our lives. So if we're looking for Jesus, we're going to find him.
I'm feeling good, good, good in a crazy way. God's love changed me more than I can say. Can't keep this in, gotta let it out. Gonna tell the whole world that your love is spinning me round and around. Yeah, it's turning me upside down. I can't believe the way you love me more than I can contain. I'm gonna turn around and give it away. I want the world to know just how I feel. They gotta know, your love is real. You love me just the way I am. Gonna tell the whole world that your love is spinning me round and around. Yeah, it's turning me upside down. I can't believe the way you love me more than I can contain. I'm gonna turn around and give it away. It's a great day to thank our God. It's the right time right now to give him praise. 'Cause he loves us more than